Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another decorative building for you to spawn in your world, and well, to fix up if you want to do that in survival mode, or just leave as a set piece to just drive past every now and again. So this thing that I'm currently standing in front of is called McDowell's, which is this lovely thing all the way over here. And well, if you haven't guessed from the name, it's an abandoned fast food restaurant, which is in an extremely poorly condition. But with the way it has been set up, you can repair it all up, put it back into tip-top condition, and once you add power to the structure, there will be a little Easter egg that will reveal itself on the LCD screens on the inside. Of course, over here we do have a little drive-through station, so you can just grab hold of a little car, which I'll do in just a moment, drive all up here, get your order, and then go and drive away. Let's go put it like so, press F10, find the spawn menu, then we'll go from there. So into here, McDowell's is, once it finally loads, is 438 large blocks, using one hell of a lot of the DLC packs. We see over here we've got ourselves our decorative blocks, Fieldworks, Spark to the Future, Frostbite, Decorative Block number 3, Decorative Block number 2, Signal, Warfare 2, and Warfare 1 DLC packs. Up here is a very small bit of information about it. It's a scrapyard spawn, and it's a forgotten fast food chain, and the soft serve machine is still broken. So giving this thing a thumbs up, we're going to be around towards the very front, which I'm calling all around over here. Have a look around the outside, have a tour of the interior, then go add power to the structure, and we'll show you the little Easter egg that appears. So, my character can burrow off just a little bit, but you can go all the way around towards the car in the distance. Wherever he has gone, he might just fell off the cliff, off he goes, and all back over here, the very front. So, as you can see for McDowell's, this is what we get, where we've got a bunch of concrete steel blocks around the bottom, which is quite hard to actually make level in Space Engineers. Had to get hold of the voxel hands to actually make this all nice and flat, or at least flat-ish, compared to what it was when I spawned it in. Because we've got railings around the outside to make sure no cars can come randomly slamming into the building. We've got a bunch of windows, some unfinished, some rusted, which we can walk through because these ones right in the very middle here are acting as a doorway. Over to this side, with glass windows, we can peer inside our seating area. We're going to be sitting down, eating our food, and having your McDowell's Happy Meal. And we're over here, once again, the same story. We've got some rusted, unfinished steel blocks, some complete, some in a dusted skin. And all the way at the top there, we can see the roof made out of our reddish corrugated steel blocks. Cross over to here, here's your drive-through. Got these little arches all the way across. Some lovely use of the floor decorations, adding some little roadway. Comes all the way across over to our little self-serve stations over here, or the drive-through stations even. But once again, they are very much rusted, and it does work fantastic well for a drive-through with the way the kitchen block has been used. And we've got two of these, one right next to it, putting away, looking at it like so. There we are. Around on the opposite side of where I'm standing. Here we are for the staff entrance, comes around towards the back where the tills are. And of course, over here on this section is the toilets, where we can't access out without grinding up blocks or adding power to the structure to activate the doors. Up here, we've got a little ladder come up to the roof access. There we are. Which allows us to come over here. We've got a little air duct that we can crawl through if you want to do that. Just simply comes all the way through into this section, slide down, and across into here. We've got a large little section where you can have a little sneaky hidey hole if you want to do so. Or if you want to, come down through the ceiling and then inside into the base. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So got a drink machine over here. Here's your counter that you order your food. And of course where the food's be cooked up. Here's your LCD screens, which you'll take a look at a bit later on when I give it power. There's the doorways to the toilet. Around towards the front. There's your seats to sit on. And of course there's our doorway to go in and out towards the drive-through. And over here is like the main entrance. Of course it's unfinished and rusted up. So it's not going to work. And we're up and looking down. Not really too much to talk about. Cross here to the drive-through. There we are. All the way down underneath it. That's all we can see. So there is absolutely no connection point below here. And that's about it for the outside. And for what it is, it looks bloody fantastic how it's been designed. It's a very unique design to have spawned in your world. And like I said at the very start, you could use this as a starting point in your adventure in survival mode. Just spawn this in, then you discovered it. And now your goal is to repair it all up, get it back into working order, or scrap the inside, turn it into a working base, and simply have the exterior shell of a fast food restaurant as your base. What I'm going to do now is grab hold of my character, come up with this hand little car I spawned in earlier, and I'm going to drive up to the drive-through, and then just go from there. So across here, which is simply going to drive all the way up, through here, being very careful with the bay windows, because I did slam into them when I was testing it out earlier. Now, roll up this one, make our order, and of course receive it, and then drive away into the distance. There we are, and that's why I wanted to make sure the surface was nice and flat, so I can just go do that a little bit. Yes, once we're done with that, now walk around here, and I suppose we'll come through the main entrance, which is this bit right here. So we simply walk through the unfinished block, there we are, Now here we are on the inside. Of course, if you really want to, you can just weld everything up, make it all functional. If you want to do that, there's one singular seat in here which you can sit on, actually while just have a little rest. Anyway, coming towards the back, here's your coffee machine. Around here is where we're going to be ordering our food, which is all free camera. In fact, instead of doing that, what I'm going to do now is come around towards the back. So around to here, into the staff entrance, and here we are to cook up our food, where all of our ingredients will be kept. And we now walk around through here. Towards the front, here we are where we can take some orders. There's a little kitchen counter to actually wash things up if you want to do that. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So all we've got to do now is actually put some power on this structure and show you the LCD screen. So finding a reactor, flopping it down. In fact, we're going to remove that, shove it up there. There we go. It now lights up on the inside here. And over here, here's the LCD screen where we do have a list of food that we can order. So as you see on the left hand side, we've got some spider nuggets, we've got some curry, kelp crisp fruit bar, we've got some coleslaw, some flatbread, some shroom mushroom chilies, red pellets, green pellets, 100% real meat steaks, lasagna, spaghetti, and over on this side for our drinks, we've got clan cola, cosmic coffee, water, and then extra ice. And there we are. And of course, around through here, here's our doorway to our toilet. So opening up this, putting the power on, coming through, and there we are. That's all it is. So we've got a toilet over here to your sink to actually clean yourself up. And that's it for this room. But as I was saying earlier, you can very easily just scrap this whole interior, turn it into a functioning base if you want to do that. It'd be a very nice functioning base, the way it has been laid out. Or you could just make it your goal to repair it all up, get it back into working order, then just leave it as is and go on with your adventure. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this structure, and all it has to offer. I just saw on the workshop page, I thought some other people might get a kick out of this design. That's why I did the showcase on it. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this design, all it has to offer, and what you can do with it. I suppose it will be in the description below to which you download proud yourself. I highly recommend you do. I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.